You said that this could be a matter of weeks or months. Why the undefined timeline on potentially initiating this?
I think it's extremely important in the circumstances we're in that I am very thoughtful and respectful of the other members of my conference, and I want to be. I don't want to throw our House into chaos, but I filed the motion to vacate today because we absolutely have to find a speaker that is going to lead the House of Representatives for our Republican values instead of a complete departure like what happened today. This was Chuck Schumer's second part of an omnibus bill. This is a $1.2 trillion omnibus bill that actually received all the Democrat votes, I think, except a few, and failed to receive the majority of the majority. This was a Democrat bill that contained funding for abortion clinics that give abortions up until full term, that funded DEI, funded the trans agenda on children. And the worst, most grievous act was that Mike Johnson completely got rolled and gave up every ounce of negotiating power for our border security.
But if this is about the spending bill, why not initiate this before the vote?
Well, this came on the heels of 3 CRs. We should have been working on our single appropriation bill starting back in October. But that didn't happen. It was 3 CRs, and then they waited all the way up until the government funding deadline, putting us in the typical same old pressure cooker where everybody has to vote to fund the government and then get on their plane and go home for Easter break. Everyone is sick of that. These are the tricks and the gimmicks that they have been using in Washington, D.C. for years, and these are the tricks and the gimmicks that our Republican majority promised the American people wouldn't happen anymore. He was told all week long by countless members of our conference, do not do this to us. But he broke the 72-hour rule, forced us to vote on a bill today that didn't allow us to put any amendments on the bill, to even fight to make changes to the bill. And only gave us one day to read a 1,012-page bill. This is not the type of Republican speaker we need in the crisis that America is in today, when our border is being overrun, when American women are wondering, if I go out, will I be on a run? Am I going to be murdered like Laken Riley? Women that are getting raped by illegal aliens, squatters that are taking over people's homes when they're not there.
Pardon the interruption, Congresswoman, but you called this a warning. What will it take? What is this contingent upon for you to initiate this? What are you looking out for?
Well, it's very hard work to lead the country. It takes a lot of responsibility, and it takes a steadfast spirit. And that's what doing this motion to vacate is all about, is actually stepping up and doing the hard work and putting our conference in a position where we can choose a Republican Speaker of the House that is not only willing to be Speaker of the House, but is capable of walking in a room and capable of negotiating and not surrendering our border security, not surrendering our country over to Chuck Schumer and the Democrat values of the White House. I think it's extremely important. It's an uncomfortable position for all of us to be in. But again, I'm going to be respectful to the members of our conference. I have fully supported the Republican conference. I have paid all my dues to the NRCC and then some. And many members don't even do that. I want us to keep the majority, and I want to hold the majority next Congress. And I want to have a Republican Speaker of the House that is capable of leading the House and passing President Trump's agenda if he becomes our president.
Bianca, I can hear you in the program, but Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene does not. So I'll have the producers ask her question in my ear while I ask her this next question, which is a lot of people are in the similar way that we saw Republican Congressman Matt Gaetz, who pulled the trigger on Kevin McCarthy. A lot of members were furious with him for fundraising off of this. Critics are now saying you're fundraising off of this maneuver. What's your response to that?
Well, I think every single member of Congress is fundraising right now. It's an election year. Fundraising is part of our job. So I'm not even going to get into those types of questions. And of course, I would ask people to support me when I'm doing the very difficult work to bring a Republican Speaker of the House that won't get rolled by Chuck Schumer, that won't give in those meetings with the four corners, that is not going to be like Mitch McConnell bill who has a 6% approval rating by Republican voters. So I'm not going to be ashamed or apologize for asking for support and doing the hard work it takes to get a better Republican speaker.
Bianca, go ahead.
Kelvin, just ask her who would be better then. Okay, she's laid out the case, but who does she want to see take the job?
Yeah. Bianca's asking if there is somebody, a particular member that you would have more confidence in as House Speaker.
You know, in our conference, it's quite dynamic, and we have a lot of very intelligent and talented people. But again, we're a conference of many. And so this isn't my decision. This is a decision that I think should be made among the conference.